As an old saying has it.
Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of Dry Drowning on PC. I swear I never understood what this thing was for. Hera keeps saying it's essential to the harmony of the room. Files about the case that led to all of our legal problems. An old picture of the opening of our agency about 10 years ago. A chair for our potential clients. Sometimes I wonder why we never bought a more comfortable one. Hera's favorite flowers. She's kind of obsessed with them. Pile of old newspaper. Hera keeps saying that they might come in handy. Women. Go figure them. Hera's filing cabinet. It's neat and tidy, unlike mine. Hera had this curtain installed when she started playing here in the office, claiming that looking at her would have made her feel uncomfortable. Despite everything, it's still here. Hera's piano. It took her months to convince me to move it in here in the office. Our umbrella stand is at least 10 years old. Hera refuses to buy a new one. My trusty chair, where I've spent countless hours pretending to work. Half filing cabinet, half bookshelf, and full of pseudo-intellectual books, just for show. Years ago, we used to spend hours looking out of these windows, standing on a chair trying to figure out the personality of each passerby. Such light-hearted moments while we still enjoyed our job. Okay, where are we going? Talon Square. Talon Square. This place always brings back memories for me. I almost miss the smell of garbage in this place. Look who decided to show up. You're right on time, my dear informer. So, shall we talk now? First, you destroy all the evidence of your past before leaving Varisian. And now you're my informer. You're turning into a true criminal, I see. Don't push it, okay? I'm just returning the favor. At least this time your ugly mug is not the only thing I get to see. Nice to see you, Hera. The same cannot be said for that old relic you carry around. It's nice to see you too, Lieutenant. It's been months. Nice way to speak to someone that saved your life. At least you have fully recovered. I can't say the same about you. You look awful, dude. I guess it's because of Abigail. We'll talk about her later. You said you had more information on Pandora. What have you got? Straight to the point, as always. I contacted you because I did what you asked me. Do you remember the encrypted emails you found on Abigail's laptop? Right. You never told us what was the content. Not by choice. I've been under surveillance for the last few months due to the Baker case. What's interesting, though, is not the emails themselves, but the computer from which they were sent. I tracked down the sender. It seems that our dear Pandora has some contacts inside Hephaestus Tech, or he might even work there. Pandora is connected to the largest company in Nova Palamos. Let's see. Hephaestus Tech. The company was founded in 2022 by some of the most enlightened men of Nova Palamos. And today, it's the most important pharmaceutical and tech company in the country. Wait, 2022? Okay, not too far from now. Oh, apparently things go to shit real fast. The government relies on Hephaestus Tech for its IT security matters. As such, it's the only company allowed to have commercial contacts with other countries through encrypted emails that won't go through the Caligula's security system. Not necessarily, although the surgical precision he showed in the murder suggests that he may work in the medical sector. As it happens, Hephaestus deals with medical and technological research, as well as monitoring people on behalf of the police. Also, they're the only company allowed to contact foreign countries through protected email systems. Okay, Nova Palamos and the world. The majority of Nova Palamos inhabitants receive information about the world after it's been censored and redacted by the security system. Censorship is the reason why no one is aware of the actual technological and social development of other countries. No one knows the reasons behind this enforced ignorant state, but they are easily applicable by the city's politicians due to the very few authorized tourists. This is getting more and more complicated. And that's not all. Pandora has killed again. What? You've got to be kidding. Not at all, and coincidentally, the victim is one of the company managers. When did it happen? The day Baker made his final speech. As you would expect, the case got buried, and no one but the highest ranks in the police knows anything. So, why are you telling us? I guess we're the only ones able to keep with the case. That's right. Despite the criminal you are, Mordred, you are also the only one with some experience with that freak. Besides, do you really think it's a coincidence that Baker has not managed to cut your throat yet? Are you protecting us? Let's say your position grants you a couple of guardian angels in the police, at least for now. I feel like providing you with the resources to get close to Pandora is a good enough motivation, isn't it, Detective? Fine, we'll help. We're going to need money and free access to all murder-related locations. Hard to admit, but Mordred is right. Without funds, we can't help you. You must be really desperate if you ask us for money. I'll see what can be done once the case is closed. I'm sending you the coordinates of the crime scene. Come to the police station once you're done investigating. You and me have some unfinished business. What is she talking about? New destination available, room 237. Wait a minute, a hotel room? Yes, this time Pandora decided to do things in style. And you have to know that. What was that? Was it a bomb? Where did it come from? I can't believe it. It came from the Black Band's headquarters. Damn it, I must go. We'll meet at the police station when you're done. Freya, wait! A bomb? What's happening to this fucking city? Mordred, we must leave now. Go back to the office. I'm going to the crime scene. Have you lost your mind? I said go. Don't worry about me. Just run. Stop treating me like a damn child. If you go there, I'm coming with you. This is no time to argue. I'll call you when I'm there. Go. Stubborn idiot. You finally decided to pick up the phone. When will you stop acting on your own? I did it for your own sake, and you know that. I'm perfectly able to take care of myself, thanks. Stop treating me like I'm a burden to you. You know damn well I've never considered you a burden. Anyway, are you safe now? Yeah, I'm home. Please just send me the Aqua OS data concerning the case. Good. I'll need your help investigating when I get there. Alright, but I'd like to ask you something first. Why do you think they blew up the Black Band's headquarters? They lost the election, so why attack them like that? I don't have the slightest idea, and honestly, it's none of our business. We need to focus on Pandora. You're right. Let me know when you're there. April 20th, 2066. Five Twins Hotel. City of Nova Polomos. Well, it definitely wasn't hard to find the room after the murder. God, this looks even worse than what we found at Treasury Park. Have you already uploaded the hologram to Aqua OS? Sure, all we have to do is activate it and find out what's behind this mess. Alright, here we go. I must activate Aqua OS before starting the investigation. Okay, yeah, sure. Right, really? Wait a minute. There are 2 dead bodies? And why does only one of them seem to follow Pandora's modus operandi? I don't know, but we're going to find out. There's a single hole in the closet. The bullet probably went through the victim's skull, killing him instantly. The second victim. Apparently he received a quick death. A single bullet right through his head. What do the police know about his identity? Hold on, I'll check. What? No information? Are you kidding? They don't know who this man is? As crazy as it sounds, no, they don't. I never expected something like that to happen in Nova Polomos. The victim was killed by a single headshot. No one managed to discover his identity yet. Something unlikely given the security level of the city. The victim looks old. His eyes have not been removed and his mouth has not been sewn up. Maybe he didn't have time. I'm sending you the data the police provided us. Prometheus, son of Lapetus and Clymene, is the main character of one of the most famous myths of ancient Greece, and he represents mankind and progress. Disobeying Zeus's orders, Prometheus stole some sparks of the divine fire, symbol of knowledge and advancement, and gave them all to men. Zeus was furious, and, seeking for revenge, he ordered Hephaestus to create Pandora, a beautiful woman to be given as a gift to Epithius, one of Prometheus's brothers. Epithius knew that he'd better not trust Zeus, so he refused his gift, unleashing the wrath of the god. Prometheus was chained to a rock on a huge mountain, forced to be tortured by an eagle symbol of Zeus, which would devour his liver during the day and wait for it to regenerate during the night. Heartbroken for his brother's death, Epithius married Pandora, who, out of her innate curiosity, opened a box where all the evils of the world were contained. Let's see, Cornelius Huber. Cornelius is a kind and optimistic man, constantly showing a loving and fatherly attitude towards anyone. His parents were German immigrants and arrived in Nova Polomos at the time of its foundation. Cornelius has always demonstrated great intelligence, which allowed him to repeatedly revolutionize the world of technology. Considered both a philanthropist and a genius, Huber is one of the senior managers at Hephaestus Tech, a role he was entrusted after the huge success of his most famous invention, Aqua OS. The message here says, Prometheus lepete filius, primus hominis extutor finicit, vincit. Prometheus, son of Lapis, who first fashioned men from clay. Why did Pandora leave such a specific message? A message written with something like a marker or lipstick. It says, Prometheus, son of Lapetus, who first fashioned men from clay. A view of the city, still unaware of the total mess that has happened in this room. The victim's liver has been stabbed several times with a sharp object, probably a knife. I guess this was the cause of death. The victim's hands and ankles have been restrained with handcuffs to prevent his escape. The victim was tied to the bed with simple iron handcuffs, probably to prevent him from reacting to the killer's assault. The sheets are soaked in the victim's blood. They're not in the original position. The police probably moved them. Feathers? Eagle or another bird of prey? As if the myth he wanted to recreate was not evident enough. These feathers have been found near the first victim. They were probably part of Pandora's twisted modus operandi. Eagles are on the verge of extinction. They can't even be found in zoos, so their feathers are very valuable. This is the only entrance to the room. Access is allowed with a special card, and the door beeps whenever it opens or closes, probably to alert guests. A large caliber handgun. Probably the victim was expecting someone to come after him. Hera, what can you tell me about it? According to the police, the gun went off 3 times. One of the bullets killed this man. You mean the killer used the same gun? Are you sure it was fired 3 times? I can't see the other bullet holes in the room. I have no idea, but the data reports they found gunshot residue on the victim's hand. Gun. Large caliber gun held by the second victim. It's covered in the unidentified man's fingerprints. 3 rounds are missing from the weapon. The police reported the victim had been given a large quantity of this drug. Label reads, Morpheus, medication produced by Hephaestus and used to sedate patients during surgeries. Morpheus, a sort of powerful anesthetic drug used in surgery to transfer patients into a deep sleep. The kind of product is not sold to the public and is usually only available to physicians and Hephaestus staff for scientific purposes. An old pharmaceutical executive and a stranger, both killed in a luxury hotel room. This case is even crazier than Alicia's. But I'm not surprised when it comes to deal with Pandora. Before attempting any reconstruction, I need more information. Let's go back to the police station and find out more on the victims and their identities. Okay, now that things settle down, I should be able to join you. Hera. She can come with us. Yeah, why not? Fine, but you better hurry up. We can't waste any more time. Okay, I'm leaving now. And? Thank you, Mordred. Maybe you Pumpkinhead are finally starting to accept the idea that I can look after myself. Maybe I'm worrying too much. But after what happened a few months ago, I can't stop assuming the worst. Oh, you're already here. Don't tell me you've solved the case once again. Before I can formulate any hypothesis, I need to talk to you. You finally realize you can't do anything without the help of someone smarter than you, do you? This is no time for jokes, Freya. Are you going to help me with the case or not? Why do you always have to be so grumpy? Fine, what do you need? Fair warning, I can't tell you anything about what happened in Talon Square, so don't even try. Great, this is even worse than I expected. First, I'd like you to tell me about the first victim, the one that was killed using Pandora's usual theatrics. His name was Cornelius Huber, one of the biggest shots in Hephaestus. Apparently our victim is the inventor of Aqua OS. Really? Yeah, he's the one to thank for our addiction to this thing. We don't know why he chose him as a victim, but maybe it has something to do with our theory of Pandora working for Hephaestus. Are you referring to Abigail's emails? Of course, if you think about it, they are the only ones able to do that, and maybe Huber found out something about him, so Pandora decided to get rid of him. Yet I can't help feeling that there's something off. If you need more information, I suggest you go straight to their headquarters and find one of his 2 assistants. You mean the victim's assistants? Precisely. Dean and Eugene Smith, 2 brothers living in the same house in the 3rd district. City districts. Nova Palamos is divided into 6 areas, called districts. The first district is the most elitist one. Seat of the Parliament, and including most of the city's areas of interest. It's constantly monitored by specialized police squads. Starting from the 2nd district and going down to the 6th, the quality of life and the well-being level are exponentially worse. Nevertheless, crime rates remain particularly low thanks to the extreme safety measures and the high number of officers assigned to every district. Fine. Give me the address and I'll pay them a friendly visit. I'll also check on Hephaestus Tech headquarters. Please try not to make me regret asking for your help. Remember, this is just a mere collaboration. And I'd rather not arrest you before you make yourself useful. What do you know about the man who was shot in the head? Look, as humiliating as it may be, we weren't able to identify him. That man is like a ghost. None of us can quite believe it yet. Anyway, we suspect that he got to the crime scene to save the other victim, ending up being killed as well. That's quite interesting. What are you thinking? If the 2nd victim got there to save the scientist, presumably the killer wasn't in the room when he arrived. Otherwise, he would have been able to reach the other side of the room without getting killed. First things first. We know that the gun was fired 3 times, so where did the other bullets end up? I guess the killer removed the shell casings from the scene, but he could never have covered the holes they made. It would make sense that the victim shot in self-defense, since he had traces of gunpowder on his hands. But there's no trace of the killer's blood, and it's impossible that our victim didn't notice him approaching. Why so? It's like the reason why the victim would certainly notice the killer approaching. The door? That's right. There's only one way into the room, and that's through the door. Which just happens to beep whenever someone opens it. What's your point? Just think about it. What are the odds of the killer opening the door, running to the victim, disarming him, and shooting him with his own gun? Close to none. Damn it, how did we not think of it? Before formulating other hypotheses, I need to talk to the hotel manager and get more information on that room. The landlady's been there since the murder. You have my permission to go and talk to her. Well, thank you then. I'll go back there as soon as I can. Back in Talon Square, you said you wanted to discuss something with me, didn't you? Yeah, I need you to be honest with me. After the Baker case, the police started investigating me and the team that was working on it. Do you know why? Should I? Well, considering you're the one who found that glove, yeah, you should. I don't like your tone, girl. Tell me the truth. Did you give Baker's glove to that lawyer? Yeah, no, it was me. The hell. Yeah, I gave it to him. That's just what I thought. But I did it before knowing how things really went. And as far as I know, you may have been the one who hid it. I guess we'll never find out, right? Everyone has his secrets after all. Enough about that. Can we get back to the case? As you wish, Detective. Is that all? I wanted to talk to you about Abigail and Mrs. Baker, but they can wait. Alright. I suppose I asked all I need to know. Can you send me a file with time and details of the murder? Sending it right now. You'll find the time of death and who got access to the room. Great, thank you. Cornelius Huber, time of death, 12:45 a.m. Cause of death, multiple stab wounds to the liver. Unknown victim, time of death, 1 a.m. Cause of death, a single headshot. Changing topic, how's Hera? Did she recover from what happened in Talon Square? Speaking of Hera, where the hell is she? She told me she would come as soon as possible. Why isn't she here yet? No reason to worry about it. She'll be here any minute. I hope you're joking. How am I not supposed to worry after what happened in Talon Square? I should have insisted. Damn it. Damn it! Calm down. In case you forgot, you're in a police station. What are you doing? Hera? Good. Now that you're here, I want to update you on what we know so far, and... Don't bother. I'll ask Freya for updates. I'm going back home before you wreck the whole floor. Wait! God, you may be a decent detective, but you're the worst when it comes to human relations. Look, if you want my advice, let her cool off and avoid talking to her for a while. I'll take care of updating her on everything. In the meantime, go investigate the places we talked about. Later. We got Smith House, we got Hephaestus, and we got the room again, so let's go to the Smith House. April 20th, 2066. Smith's brother's apartment. Oh, this place looks friendly. Huh? What the hell is this place? Masks, statues, trinkets? It really looks like the hideout of a serial killer. Welcome to my home. I guess you're the detective the police told me about? You're right. My name is Mordred Foley. I'm investigating the Cornelius Huber case. Nice to meet you. I'm Dean Smith, former assistant of Professor Huber. But I suppose you already know that. Shy and insecure, he hides his weakness behind a sunny and accommodating attitude, which makes him well liked both at work and in his social life. Since his birth, Dean has showed a great inclination towards computer science, a path he followed until graduating at the University of Nova Palamos. He has always held Cornelius Huber in high respect, and after his recruitment in Hephaestus Tech, he went to great lengths in order to be assigned to his team. Dean was elected as Huber's successor thanks to the huge success of his video game, Be a Good Citizen. Yeah, and if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some questions. Maybe take a look around. Oh, sure. Am I on your list of suspects? Just answer my questions, please. Where's your brother? It's been weeks since the last time he came home. He doesn't even answer my calls anymore. He's acting like the child he's always been. Eugene is aggressive and ill-tempered, never being able to socialize with anyone. Due to his unrestrained ambition and personality, he is the complete opposite of his brother, Dean. Since his childhood, Eugene has been very competitive, especially with his brother. His aptitude for computer science allowed him to graduate with full marks and honors and to be recruited by Hephaestus Tech. Both his occupation and competitiveness are most likely the result of an inferiority complex towards Dean. He's not been home for weeks. You got an idea where I might find him? No, honestly, my brother's always been good at disappearing. But you've found me now, so please go ahead with your questions. Great, let's start. What was your relationship with Mr. Huber? The man was like a father to me. He has always been motivating and giving me the strength to carry on. His death was the worst news I could have gotten. No mask. He really did care about him. Do you have any idea why Pandora chose him as the victim? No, not at all. Everyone loved him, especially Eugene, his girlfriend Thalia, and me. His girlfriend? Yes, have you already talked to her? She's probably looking for Eugene too. Can you tell me something about your brother? Unlike me, Eugene is pragmatic and extremely serious about his job, which has always caused conflicts between us. The last time we've been happy together was 10 years ago, when we learned the professor had accepted us as students. Since then, we've been competing with each other. While he managed the Caligula security systems, I created what would be the biggest revolution after Aqua OS. What are you referring to? Be a Good Citizen, the Aqua OS video game I developed while assisting the professor in his work. Be a Good Citizen, a free video game installed on all the new models of Aqua OS featuring logic tests that rotate weekly. Getting high scores grants players same benefits and discounts on online purchases. It is also possible to see friends or other citizens' scores. Every citizen that passes the Patterson test can also increase the score by sharing selected contents suggested by the app itself and concerning politics, industry, or technology. The number is also penalized by friends or relatives with a low score, so the app does not recommend to hang around people with lower scores. The game's mascot, Simi, has become a mass phenomenon, and it's featured on many other apps created by Hephaestus Tech. Thanks to the positive and educational impact of my creation on the whole society, Mr. Huber appointed me as his successor. Eugene went mad and left home yelling about how his work had been eclipsed by my stupid game. But in the end, I figured those corals are just, well, these things happen. Can't blame him for reacting that way. It must be hard to see your entire career destroyed by a game. My game managed to determine the taste and habits of the population, thus modeling their behavior. Hell yeah, nice way to disguise a method of social and commercial indoctrination. You've done a great job. If you think you can be successful without manipulating people around you, you're a fool, Mr. Detective. What can you tell me about Hephaestus? I can tell you it's not the smartest idea to give absolute monopoly on information and pharmaceutical technology to a single company. Such power could be very intoxicating, don't you agree? Particularly when the information coming from other countries are first filtered by government and Hephaestus itself. What do you mean? I mean, the world outside could be very different from what newspapers and the web make us believe. I see. Can you tell me about the encrypted email system of the company? I never worked on security. You should ask Eugene about this stuff. Assuming that you can find him. The poster of an old animated series which was very popular around 40 years ago, back when the entertainment industry in Nova Palamos had no strict censorship policy. Creepy rabbits beside the bed, just what you'd expect from someone like Dean. Under the bed, there's a bunch of clothes and some masks, like those on the wall. The bed looks like the only ordinary thing in the room. Neon lights at the city through the window are creating some cool lighting effects. Looks like a kid's room with this, and this poster confirms it. Do you like them, Detective? Let me introduce you to Jackie and Polly. You really named these dolls? Yes, they represent a little parrot and a kitten. What are you even talking about? Every time I read about a missing animal in Nova Palamos, I buy a new doll, in memory of that poor soul. Oh, I see. Why do I keep stumbling into weirdos like that? how can you even think of hanging 3 masks like these in the bedroom? Actually, I have 12 of them. I keep the rest under the bed. Sure, I've met some pretty weird people, but he definitely gets the gold medal. A jar full of pennies, all identical. A picture, maybe representing some important memories for the brothers. Considering the rest of the room, this wig here feels almost normal. Guess that's it. Off we go. Hephaestus and the room again. So, this is Hephaestus Tech headquarters. The main hall, at least. Let's have a look around. I think this leads to the departments in the main building. The doors are pretty thick. They must have something to hide. Self-aggrandizing catchphrases. Typical. Good evening. I'm Detective Mordred Foley, and I'd like to have a word with one of the company managers about Cornelius Huber's murder. Please wait at the entrance. One of our representatives will see you as soon as possible. Waiting here? There's not even a chair. We remind you that if you leave the room, you will lose your priority. I'm here on behalf of the police. I won't waste my time with this nonsense. We invite you to be patient. Why don't you take a look at our products in the meantime? You will find an extensive catalog and... Enough, I got it. Just make it quick. Meh. Considering their attitude, I'm not surprised by the thickness of the glass at the reception. Hey, it's been 2 hours. How long are you going to keep me waiting? Stop it, Thalia. I don't want to hear another word from you. Huh? Your mentor gets killed and all you can do is run off like this? My mentor? That old man didn't even mean anything to me. And honestly, I have no intention of ending up the same way by helping you. Cornelius has done everything he could to make you the man you are today, and that's how you repay him? If he could hear you right now, he would be very disappointed. This conversation ends here, and you'd better not get in my way again. Excuse me, miss. I couldn't help but overhear your argument with that guy. Huh? And who are you? I'm Detective Mordred Foley. I'm cooperating with the police on the Cornelius Huber case. Oh, I'm talking to a famous man. I'm afraid so. I hope it's not a problem for you. If I paid such attention to appearances or what media say, I wouldn't talk to anybody in the city. By the way, my name's Thalia Wells. How can I help you? Thalia always shows an optimistic and exceptionally positive attitude, and her silver tongue and good looks contribute to have a good opinion of herself. Thalia was born in Europe. Her parents worked in agriculture, and she decided to move to Nova Palamos after meeting Professor Huber, her future fiancé, during one of his conversations. Despite the age gap, their love seems to be the genuine result of their great personalities combined. I'd like to ask you some questions about Cornelius Huber, if you don't mind. Of course. I want to find the killer more than anyone else. Could you give me some more information about Hephaestus? The company business mainly focuses on medical and tech research. Caligula and Aqua OS servers, as well as all Patterson test data. Everything is stored here at headquarters. Now I understand why all these cameras and surveillance. Does the company deal with something else? Yes, it's the only authorized company able to communicate with other countries, both for political and commercial reasons. Do the big guys rely that much on Hephaestus? It's not a coincidence that many politicians are coming from this company. Keep it in the family, as they say. Can you tell me about Huba and your relationship with him? Cornelius was a remarkable man, as well as my husband-to-be. Were you two engaged? Yes, we've been together for the last 4 years, but he wanted to keep it quiet. He was worried about my safety. Why so? He suspected that someone was after him, probably here within the company. Did Pandora really have connections with the professor? I don't know the details, but all I want now is revenge on the monster that murdered the most important man in my life. The night I reported him missing, I wasn't able to contact him, and the GPS on his OS was not working either. Oh, so you were the one who raised the alarm. That's right, but when they found him, it was too late. What can you tell me about the victim's assistants? The one you just saw is Eugene, while Dean is the guy who's going to replace my poor Cornelius once things settle down. There's always been a ridiculous competition between the two of them, but Dean's kindness and the success of his studies struck a chord with Cornelius. Eugene was not pleased with that, and now he even refuses to help me understand what really happened. I've known them for years. They were really close with us, and they used to come over for dinner quite often. What kind of role did they have in the company? Eugene was in charge of IT security, while Dean created Be a Good Citizen, the popular Aqua OS game. Are you telling me he managed to impress the professor with a game? Exactly. That game gave them access to real-time information about activities and habits of every single citizen. You'd be surprised at what people are willing to do in order to gain some benefits. Video games as a mass surveillance system? Now I've seen it all. Anyway, if you want more details, you should talk to them directly. I'm going to. Thanks for the information. Alright, I think I think you've given me enough. Thank you for your time. I certainly don't want to keep you here with me 2 more hours while I wait for someone to show up. I don't think anybody will come for you. They're all scared to be investigated for the murder. What? I know what cowards these men are, and I assure you they won't be of any use. I see. Then I won't waste my time here anymore. Before you go, let me give you something. Aqua OS with corrupted data. The Aqua OS used to belong to Cornelia Huber and has been found outside the hotel where the murders took place. While data contained in the device are inaccessible, only an expert technician could be able to restore them. Aqua OS? It belonged to Cornelius. I've told you that it could not be detected the night he was killed, remember? There's one simple reason. I found the Aqua OS in a rubbish bin a few feet from the hotel, and its data has been corrupted. How's that possible? The data is coming from the main server, not stored on the device. I have no idea, and that's why I'm giving it to you. Find a way to restore the data, and maybe you'll know what happened. Why didn't you hand it over to the police? I wanted to, but I was afraid they would make it disappear in case it connected the murder with one of the managers of Hephaestus. I see. I'll try to find someone able to repair it. Thank you so much. Here are my details. Please contact me if you need anything. No masks. This woman always said the truth. All I have to do is find what Professor Huber hid inside this thing. Assigned for different departments within the building where I probably won't be able to enter. I've already heard about this video game. As far as I know, it's very popular in Novopalamos. The ever-present advertisement for Aqua OS, the flagship product of Hephaestus Tech. The floor is so polished I can see my own reflection. I guess appearances is what matters most to them. Alright, why don't we stop it there? This is Audap. You've been watching Dry Drowning on PC. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.